Rondo Community Land Trust is a local nonprofit in the heart of the revitalized Rondo community, finding new and innovative ways to create home ownership opportunities. Greg Finzell, the Executive Director, is here with us today to tell us more. So welcome and thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Sure. Well, basically, I first wanted to know, I'm familiar with Rondo, the old Rondo.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I wasn't alive at the time, but in the late 50s, it was an area, that was bulldozed to make way for I-94. And I'm wondering, can you tell me a bit about why the name Rondo?
Sure. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, a small group of residents within the Summit University neighborhood, or also the Rondo neighborhood, got together and started to look for some different ways to provide affordable housing in that community, which you're absolutely correct, had been a model cities neighborhood, been an urban renewal area, and the results of a lot of that were a lot of vacant land and some vacant buildings back then. And we settled on the land trust model to provide some affordable housing, and in honor of the community and its past, named it Rondo Community Land Trust.
And how long have you all been in existence as Rondo Community Land Trust, as an organization?
We started in the late 1990s. We finished our first home and sold it in 1995. And so we've been around for a little over 10 years.
Okay. And could you explain what a land trust is?
Sure. Land trust, the community land trust is very similar to other community nonprofit development organizations. But the difference is that our major goal is to provide the housing that will be affordable for future generations. And so we sign a ground lease with the families that we sell to for 99 years. And what we do at the closing or when they buy the house is that we separate the land and the building. We do that because we want to keep the housing through this ground lease, an agreement between both us and the new homeowner, that the housing can stay affordable for 99 years. We do that in two ways. One is that we sell to families at 80% or less of the HUD median income. And more importantly, they agree that they'll take a limited amount of the equity when they go and sell the home. In our case, it's 25%. So, and 75% stays with the house. So basically the inflation or the growth of the house, the appreciation goes up less with a land trust house, which allows for future families to purchase that house at an affordable price.
So I was online going through some of the application or just seeing how, how it works. So if someone were to purchase a home and say they make, repairs or improvements to the home and they sell it, would they be able to recuperate some of that money that they put into the home? Or is there a limitation to how much they could sell the house for? A
really good question. It is limited to what they can resell the house based on a formula of 25% of any increase in the appreciation. But in addition to that, if they do any capital improvements, if they build a garage, if they add a bathroom, a new bedroom, that's considered a capital improvement, and we give them credit for that, and that's added to the ground lease document. And so what happens when they go to sell, then not only do they get the 25% in appreciation, but they get the amount, a percentage of the garage, what the garage costs. They get credit for that, that's right.
Okay. And were there any models that you all looked at to say that this would be perfect, for the need, I guess, of this community? When developing the idea of a land trust? We
looked at a lot of different models, and this model isn't perfect. I don't think there is a perfect model. But what we really looked for was that we want to use federal and state dollars, foundation dollars, and dollars from individuals just one time in a project. So we want to invest that wisely and be good stewards of those funds. And so with this model, we can invest one time in the family and in the house, and it will stay affordable for 99 years.
Okay. And what are the overall goals of the Rondo Community Land Trust?
There's really
creating housing, but
sure. Sure. There's really two goals. One is, as I've mentioned before, is that we're creating housing not just for the generation today or families today, but that without more subsidy, that we'll have created housing for generations, future generations, little kids today that will be able to either inherit these homes or that they'll be able to purchase land trust houses in the future. And the second is building capacity in communities. It isn't just about the bricks and mortar. This is about people that once they can afford a home in a community, wherever it is they want to live, that they can join local neighborhood organizations, create community gardens. They get involved in their community and they become a part of that community. And that's really what community is about.
This sounds great. I mean, it really sounds like a method to offset regentrification or gentrification, you know, where you have a bunch of condos being built and maybe people who lived, you know, in that particular community couldn't afford to continue paying, you know, especially if it's renting. So that I mean, it sounds great. Is there any way that you all particularly do outreach to let people know that you exist?
Well, this is one way, but
we're glad we could help.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a website, rondoclt.org. People can visit that and learn more about. We do monthly orientation sessions at our office at the corner of Selby and Dale, so that people, it's 1 hour, it's free. We do them at noon and 6. We do presentations at churches and community organizations. We have flyers. So, you know, we tried a number of different methods to get the word out.
Great. And are there any events or anything coming up even within the year that you'd like to share? And if not, you can give us the website once again just to make sure we have the information. Well,
we currently have a number of homes that are for sale, and people can visit our website. It's, again, rondoclt.org, and we're going to start to put up some more information on those homes that are for sale, plus a lot of information on the website about how the land trust works and how to apply. We have an application process, and it explains all that on the web page. And in a couple of weeks, we'll be participating in the Jazz Festival at Selby and Milton, and promoting the houses that we have available in the Summit U Rondo neighborhood. So, yeah.
Great. And if you, parting shots, if you could give an idea of what your critics would say and what the people who love Rondo Community Land Trust would say about your organization.
I think if there's a knock or there's a criticism, it's that that you only take a limited amount of the equity from the property. And I think to address that, I think that what we say is, but for the land trust, these families would not get into ownership. And I think that also then serves as the key to this, is that if it were not for the land trust, because we do give them grants to get into the housing, plus we're there post-purchase after they purchase the home, that they'd still be renters, and they'd probably be renters for a very long time, because we do have money for down payment, closing cost assistance, and those are often the dollars that people just don't have. They save up for a very long time, but they have to use those dollars to fix the car or for dental work or health care or whatever, and they just don't have those dollars enough to purchase a home, and we can help with that.
And the praise?
Excuse me?
The praise?
What would the praise be? I think that we know that we have to do something with affordable housing. We know that we need to keep creating affordable housing. I think that the benefit of the land trust model is that there is an investment. It's a one-time investment, and yet the housing stays affordable for today and for future generations for 99 plus years.
Great. Great. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Greg.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting us.
Sure.